What do you think a good year is for Drake Maye?
Okay, so I think the basic standard is
Year two.
Year two. First year, you got to show some potential, which he did. Second year, you got to show some significant improvement. Obviously, we all love him to be, championship level quarterback, but you've really got to show some real significant improvement. Third year, you got to be a player. I mean, a guy who can go out and, when championship's on the line, you're ready to go. So he's clearly has shown potential. I mean, he's got to, we got to see some real progress here.
Now, what's progress look like?
All the little things like, I would say just watching him, he has a little bit of a tendency, step up in the pocket, tuck it and run. And so step up, keep his eyes downfield, complete the pass for 15 yards. I would much rather have the quarterback complete a pass for 15 yards than try to run for 15 yards. If you want to run for 15 yards, give it to Henderson or Stevenson. But the quarterback's there to throw the ball. So, keep your eyes downfield, try to complete the pass. If there's nothing there, then you got to run. But it's just all the, processing things, faster. Knowing when like you run the 64 special.
Yeah.
Y shallow cross X on the in cut. You got to be able to see, hey, in 2 steps, my X is going to come open.
Coverage two.
Can I hang with him for the extra half second or not? That was something like Tom was always a master of. He always knew where his outlet was. So he could hang, last second go to the outlet. He had a real good sense of the timing of the play. You say, he's got to have a clock in his head.
The processing,
which is, it's really fast. There's bad guys coming trying to hit you. So, I mean, it's like where I've told a couple of young quarterbacks, I don't know if you've ever watched on, if I can mention the network ESPN, they do Formula One. With the camera right over the driver's shoulder. That's really good for a quarterback to watch because that's how fast you got to play. I mean, those drivers, there's no think about it.
No,
you just got to do it, and that's how you got to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Try watching the Formula One and check that. Check that out for that.
Well, we watched NASCAR last night to determine our fantasy draft, and
okay, I'm a Formula One guy. Not NASCAR, but
why?
Because they actually have to make right turns.
But all they got to do is win the pole, Ernie. No one ever passes each other.
You know what? But it's still there's some real, and I understand having the right tires and all that, but it's just, the courses are so much more interesting.
Did you see the new movie with Brad Pitt, F1?
I have not.
You're going to hate it.
I think you should take Christine to see it.
Okay.
Get a popcorn on me.
Like I don't watch it every week, but every time I do, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, this is the way for a quarterback. You gotta be playing. You gotta be processing information as fast as that driver's processing it.
Yeah,
you really do.
Because second drop, you're looking at the safeties on that special, and if that safety drops into cover 2, then you got to get backside of the high low.
Right. I mean,
and that's the shallow to that in cut.
Right.
So if that linebacker goes with that shallow, you better bang that in cut in.
And you have the hole's going to be small. You can't have any hesitation. I mean, you don't get a second look. See, no, see it and throw it.
Yeah,
that's what really differentiates quarterbacks.
So Drake Maye has to be able to process faster. That would be a successful year.
The faster he can process, the better he's going to play, and if that would get him going towards a successful year. I mean, everything else that comes with it. But
you think Josh will be good for him?
Yeah. I mean, I think Josh is, a good coach can help a player. And that's what I think, to me, I think players look at a coach and it's, can this guy help me play better or not? If the answer is yes, the player will listen to the coach. If the answer is no, forget it.
Now, I know you haven't been watching this team as deep as Ernie does, but what would you think the identity of this team would be? Knowing that Coach Vrabel is the head coach.
Well, so my with Coach Vrabel, what I remember, apart from all the great plays, was the first game of the 2008 season. Okay, you remember that? You remember what happened? Tom hurt his knee. So we all knew coming in after the game, I think everybody, hey, Brady hurt his knee. He's out for the season. And there's Mike. I'm standing in the locker room. There's Mike Vrabel coming. Okay, boys, we're going to have a little different brand of football. And that's Mike, hey, run the ball and play defense. That is so deep. I mean, I just know in Mike, that is so deep in his soul. That's not going to change. Yes, he understands you got to be able to throw the ball, but he's a defensive guy. It's the running game. It's defense. That's the heart of it. That's why he loved having. Henry is his back at Tennessee. You can just pound it. Yeah, that's his.
Brought in Deion Lewis too for a year. Remember, he stole Deion from us.
They stole Deion, but I mean, to me, what's their identity going to be? That's going to be.
You control the game. It's more of a controlling style of the game.
Right. Well, but the thing you get into the NFL, you run the ball to control the tempo. You throw the ball to ring the cash register.
Yep.
And so you get, sooner or later, you got to be able to do. You've got to be, if you're a running team, great. You got to be able to throw it enough, particularly when you need to be effective. That's really like Lamar Jackson's NFL MVP and all that. But when it's 3rd and 15 of the fourth quarter of the championship game, how good is he really going back and making the throw to pick it up? He's going to hit some of them. He might hit enough of them to win a championship. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
As opposed to, take the extreme case, you're down 28-3 with 2:12 to go in the third quarter of the Super Bowl. Everybody in the world knows you got to throw the ball. I mean, and that was always my standard for quarterback in the NFL. What you really want is someone who can win the game throwing the football, because he's the only guy in the field who can do that. And that's, I know people talk running quarterbacks are great. It's hard to be a running quarterback much past age 28.
Yeah.
It really,
For 18 games, for 17 games.
Right. I mean, so, you got to be, everything's on the line. It's third and 17. We got to pick it up. I got to throw it. It's going to be a small window. I got to make a good decision, make the throw.
We haven't had you on since Vrabes became head coach.
That's right. And here we have the game we're going to talk about, Super Bowl 38. Coach Mike Vrabel, strip sack and caught a touchdown pass.
Strip sack and caught a touchdown pass.
Okay. No, that's good chance it'll be a long time for somebody else plays in the Super Bowl and has a strip sack and catches a touchdown pass.
Long time. It'll be. Now, what are your thoughts on how Coach will be as a coach?
What I remember, of course, about Mike was when we went defense, when it was the defensive show team out there for the offense, Mike played weak safety, and that was his position. If anybody else had gone out there and said, "I'm playing weak safety," Mike would have said, "Get the F out of here."
Yeah.
So he loved the running commentary on football. You could tell that Mike was totally into football, and I will say, some players you can tell if he wants to coach, he'll be a good coach. The question is, does he want to work the hours? Because it's not, if you're a player, you're getting the beating and all, but at least at the end of the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at 5 o'clock, you can go home. For coaches, you're going to be there at 11 o'clock getting ready for the next day. Some guys just say, look, I love football. I really don't want to be here at 11 o'clock every night. Like Ryan Wendell. I knew Wendy'd be a good coach. He's at Buffalo. So I went over to him. We played.
He's at LA now.
Well, he started at Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I went, Wendy, how you liking this coaching? And he says, I love it. So if you actually, I know he knows the football. If he likes, actually doing it, he'll be a really good coach. Other guys, I don't, if you're coaching, you get up in the morning, your wife's asleep. You come back at night, she's asleep. It's the old Vince Lombardi thing with his wife Marie and coaching. On Monday through Wednesday, we don't talk. On Thursday, we say hello. But Friday, he's actually civil. During the season, and that part of it for coaches has not changed at all. It's like somebody asked, well, what do coaches do? Hey, the best book ever written on the subject was Vince Lombardi's book, Run the Daylight. It's minute-to-minute account of him going through a big game, in 1962. Now, and it's okay. So he used 16 millimeter film. They used tape film, but getting the team ready to play, it's the same thing. It has not. It is not. Maybe a couple plays are different, but the process for a coach hasn't changed.
It hasn't. So
yeah.
So is Vrabel putting the hours in?
Knowing him, I'm sure he is.
I'm excited for them because you usually do take the personality of your head coach,
right? And it takes. You take it, and it's not something you do in one off season or one training camp. I mean, you got to go through some,
and he's done that though in Tennessee. I mean, he has a resume. This guy.
No, he did a good. No question. I mean, he had. But I mean, as far as he did it at Tennessee, but you come in the Patriots, new bunch of guys. You start all over.
Yeah.
There's no anything he did at Tennessee. That's ancient history. Just like anything that the Patriots did when Mike was a player. That's ancient history.
Yeah, it is. Who's the smartest football mind you ever think you coached?
Ever coached? I have to be Tom.
Tom.
I mean, because he, first of all, in 20 years, I mean, there's nothing like having. I mean, you're the starting quarterback in the same offense for 20 years. I mean, it became and the offense really it evolved around him.
Yeah.
So he and he always we go up for Friday practice when I do the cards of the defense. You can't show me a coverage I have seen. Oh, okay, big guy, we'll see. So we used to have that was always a little bit of a challenge in there.
And that's why we used to get the when the coach was an offense or defense assistant at UOP or something, and he showed one blitz in 1984.
I wanted to make sure Tom saw it.
So that's your way of getting at Tom. I'll show you this coverage.
Yeah, and it's like, well, hey, what killed him every time was dropping 8 in the red area. Oh, he got so upset with that. Because the windows are small, and they just shrunk the even smaller.
The P drop.
The P drop in the red area.
He would get so mad.
Which is why he needed to see it, which is why we ran it.
Yeah. Do you ever remember a specific time you stumped him and he got really mad?
On those P drops in the red area.
Do you remember the scouting process when you guys were scouting Brady?
Really, it was, the number one thing you want to see on a football player is what does he do in the games? I mean, it's, it's kind of a bottom line business. And when you get somebody who goes in and plays well in the games, that's what gets your attention. And we had, one person you never knew, great guy, Dick Rabine, was our quarterback coach who unfortunately died during training camp in 2001.
Oh, wow.
Got on a treadmill and had a heart issue and he died. But you don't try to make it too complicated. If a guy goes in the game against good competition and plays well, that is what we're trying to do. It's not about the combine stuff, which is important, but it's really what does the guy do when he gets on the field against good competition. And so you get Brady, hey, have a great bowl game against Alabama. I mean, and play well when you're in there. There's a lot of things as a player you can't control, but what you can control is what you actually do when you get out on the field.
He always used to talk about that. When did you know he was a killer?
When I Tom's rookie year in 2000, he was like, he was like the third string quarterback, and he was not going to get in the game. I mean, unless if you have two guys get injured in the same game, he can get in, but it wasn't going to happen. And after practice, he would go grab our young rookie tight end, Chris Eitzman, and take him over on the side and make Chris run patterns for him. But it wasn't just running patterns. Tom wanted to call the play. It's 3rd and 6. All right, Eitz, this is the play we're going to run. call it out, because Tom wanted to put himself through the situation. Here's the way I'm going to call the play in this situation. It's not just let's just go run around, play catch. We're actually thinking a game, thinking situations, and I always figured if a player's going to stay out late after practice, somebody should honor him by going over and watching. So I'm just standing watching this. This guy, he's really trying to get ready to play, even though he has no chance of playing this week. And of course, Tom's the guy. If he wanted to get in the right stance, how do you get in the right stance? You practice it in front of the mirror. You just do. Being obsessive compulsive can get you in trouble sometimes, but you can also lead to great results.
Yeah.
And that's the way I kind of look at that. Tom is the ultimate obsessive compulsive, among players, because he's not, Tom Brady didn't just drop out of the sky a Hall of Fame quarterback. He made himself into a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yep. And when people would tell me at the draft, I work hard as Brady, hey, you're full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about. And that's
100% correct. I mean, I got there. He already had 3 Super Bowls, and he was still flying in a coach week 11 to work on his little fundamentals after a practice.
Hey, but you know what?
That was when he was a 4. That's what people don't see.
They don't see. They don't understand. And that was kind of like when I was talking about being impressed with Peyton Manning warming up before the game. When it's football now, it's dead ass serious, 100% every time. There's no, you don't take any plays off in practice.
He never did.
Never did. And you know what? He would if you ran around first time hey Jules, we really want to do it this way, and then he expects you to get it right that second time. Right. Hey, if you might not quite understand the first time, that's not a problem. Screwing up after he explained it to you, that's a problem.
Make a mistake, you just can't make the same mistake twice.
Right.
And with him, I was a punching bag for him because the more success that we had, he could never really get on guys as hard as he wanted to because they've been watching him since before they were born.
So now we put him on a competitive level.
Oh!
See, I brought this. This is my Chiefs book from 2018.
Oh my gosh!
So this is so as you can see here, Jules. What I do before get ready for the game. I've got every game they played. This is form I've got comfortable using.
Ernie cards.
Well, so these aren't the cards, but I can. But 1 page. Use both sides, of course. I got 16 plays on each pad. So if I want to find out. Because the Chiefs they're repeaters. If they've done something in a critical situation, middle of the season, you get in that same critical situation, decent chance, you're going to get it again.
And I remember Bill always saying, it's going to be the same play. They might have a different guy. They may have a different formation or a different way of getting there, but it's going to be this guy here, this guy there, and this guy there.
Right, that's typical of most good teams. You get good, you get in the critical situation in the fourth quarter. Like Sean Payton says, you call the plays they know by heart.
I have it.
When you're going down for a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter, that's what you want to run, right? The stuff you've been running since training camp, you know exactly what to do. Everybody else on the team knows what to do, and that gives you most of the time, gives you your best chance of success.
Now, Ernie, you have a play. So this is your folder for the Chiefs, 2018.
Yeah.
Do you have a folder for every single team?
Probably not to this detail.
Not to,
but because I've got every game here, plus some prior years, and one of the reasons because I do the Chiefs is they're really good. So when I want to, I don't want to go if I'm going to study in the middle of March, study a team. I'm not going to go study the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
That really doesn't work. I want to see what's somebody who's good. Is there something they're doing that we can use?
Yeah.
Putting it all down on paper, to me is the best way to. Because I will tell you, because you're wearing your Phillips Academy hat. The best teacher I ever had in my life was my Latin teacher at Phillips Academy, who would put us all up at the board before start a class. And he said, "We're going to write out this sentence, how you translated it." And he would come and say, "Oh, lad, if you don't know it well enough to write it down, you don't know it well enough." Now, of course, when I would use, for 30 years, I would say that to players, say, hey, I know this play. Okay, put it up on the board. Let's see if you can diagram it. Let's see if you really know it. So I'm a big believer, you really want to know something, put it down on paper, study it, make sure you got it right.
You got to write it down. I wrote down everything. That just make me pay attention. Now, I always remember when we would be playing against these teams, the game plan, when you're playing against a Patrick Mahomes team. I just remember as an offensive guy, plaster. We got to plaster. What's the game plan?
So the biggest thing,
what does plaster mean?
Plaster means when the quarterback starts scrambling, you find if there's a guy open, go get on him.
Mm-hmm.
What made this team so dangerous was you got Mahomes and you got Tyreek Hill, who's the speed factor really changes things. So we got to be over the top on him. The other guys are good, but we have to we have to take this guy away deep. And that's what I say. You always start off what at the heart of it. What do we really need to do on defense here?
So what did we do to do that?
So we had we had safety over the top of him all day, which worked out. But they got that leaves other people one-on-one. I mean, we get it later in the game. They start hitting us with the backs on the wheels. They hit the big play to Hill when Mahomes scrambled. And now you always premise your defense. We'll get a pass rush. We'll keep the quarterback contained. The ball's going to have to come out in about 3 seconds. When the quarterback gets loose, and now he's got up that 5-6 second range, things start to break down. Bad stuff happens. Again, this is you get your plan, you practice it, and you do the best you can.
Now, how come Travis Kelce always seems wide open?
Because he's, you get, number one, he's got other great players around him, so they can't just double up on him. He knows how to work, when the quarterback's moving around, he can adjust with it, and he's got great tools for a receiver.
Yeah. And for this specific Kansas City team, the number one thing was we have to contain Hill. We can't let him have a big play.
Stay over the top of him.
Stay over the top. Put Jay Jones, our fastest guy, on him. Put our other guys.
Right. So if he goes over to Watkins, you got Steph, and there's a couple plays there in the second quarter. I mean, it's back-to-back plays. I mean, Steph just wires him at the line of scrimmage. So yeah, you got single coverage, but it's against Steph Gilmore, and your guy can't get off the line of scrimmage. And then stuff happens during the game. They hit one big play on him because he kind of takes a sneak. What you can't do. I mean, you're an old defensive back. You play in the AFC Championship game. When it's man-to-man coverage, what's the most important thing?
Keep your leverage.
Keep your leverage and keep your focus on the receiver.
And your receiver. Do not have your eyes in the background.
You stick your eyes back at the quarterback, it's over. And even as great a player as Steph is, got caught one time, he stuck a peek back, and it's going the wrong direction. So I mean, this is like I say, it's a messy game. Stuff happens. You just keep going. Do the best you can, and you try to make more plays for your team than their guys are making for their team.
Yeah,
you can have a plan and all that. It doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to adjust, as we know.
Okay, because the other team is doing exactly. The other team's trying to counteract what you're doing.
Adjust to the adjustments.
Yeah,
that's how it's simple. What do you think of what the Chiefs have accomplished since this game?
It's been phenomenal. Listen, they were, winning multiple Super Bowls, and really, okay, they lost one because their offensive line was crippled up. I mean, they've been, for the last 6 years, they've been like we were. Go to the championship game every year, go to a bunch of Super Bowls. I mean, I think it's a tremendous accomplishment.
Can you draw any similarities between this run and our run?
Just having, I mean, I'm not there, but I know you've got to have, mentally tough people who know how, to play over that long NFL season and can know how to show up and be there when it counts.
The one thing that I always say when people ask me this same question is it's been really impressive to see how they've reinvented their team the last 3 times. Yep. You know what I mean? Like they've had to adjust. And they, people don't realize how hard it is to sustain success with the salary cap, with when you have to pay certain guys and you don't have enough money for other guys, and having the humility and being humble enough to change their team from being a high-flying team like they were in this year to a run defensive kind of team these last couple years. I mean, that's something that we always had to adjust to. We always adjusted our team to what we could put on the field.
Yep.
So that's some of the stuff. What makes Andy Reid such a good coach?
He's got a great system. He believes in it. Obviously knows how to teach it. I mean, he's been doing it now, because remember, for him, before the Kansas City, there was Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And they went to, they had the string there. They went to, several NFC championship games. And look, when you're in the Final Four and you lose a couple, people say, they're not that good. I mean, forget it. To get just to get to the championship game, you got to be really good. There may be somebody who's just a little bit better and beats you, but that really shouldn't take away anything from what you do. Although in the end, there's 32 teams in the NFL. There's only one that gets to stand out there, with that final trophy. So just because maybe, hey, you didn't quite get there, you still could be really good. You just not quite good enough to win the championship.
How are Andy Reid and Bill different? And how are they alike?
Never, talks. Because it's, I've never worked with Andy, and Bill I've known for 50 years. So that's a little bit of a hard one for me to.
I've heard that he practices hard. I heard that they practice really hard.
That's my impression. This is a team, when they come out for pregame warm-up, and nobody's screwing around. I mean, they're getting after playing football.
Yeah.
And you remember, particularly your younger days, I think we practiced hard.
We practiced, yeah.
I mean, we were in pads in camp.
Two-a-days, run in the morning, pass in the evening.
I mean, that's classic NFL.
Ugh.
I mean, that's why guys would have your offensive linemen. They'd have on their their 7-stud grass cleats for the morning. They'd have on their turf shoes for the afternoon for pass protection.
Yeah.
It's the old thing about the different games. Are you familiar with this?
A little bit.
Okay. Croquet is a gentleman's game played by gentlemen. Soccer is a beastly game played by gentlemen. Rugby is a gentleman's game, and all that. Football is a beastly game played by beasts. Okay, I mean, it's it's a nasty game, and if you want to learn how to play it, it's hard, it's tough.
It's tough. You better be willing to bleed, eat some dirt, take a tablespoon of cement. At least back in the day. I don't know about now. I'm joking.
But it's and that's what you say. And I don't really know any good teams that were soft.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's this. Some teams maybe have tried, and there's just some of the teams, the players come say, "Whoa, it wasn't like this the last team I was at." Well, great. How many championships did you win?
Yeah. Now, did you scout Mahomes coming out of Texas Tech?
We did not really, because this was at the stage we said there is zero possibility of us taking a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but he was,
no. I wish, I wish I could say I'd studied it more than I did. But
have you seen his evolution from the early part of his career? What have you noticed? How has he evolved? If you've watched it.
Yeah. He started off really good, and he's gotten better.
Sums it up.
And being a good quarterback in the NFL, it's a high wire act. There's no net, so you got to be aggressive with the ball. But you just got you got to know at some point there's that fine line between being reckless, being aggressive and being reckless. It didn't matter if we were playing. The Jets in a regular season game, I made a point to spend an hour a day at least.
1 hour a day.
Studying the Colts. So, just in the middle, just to make sure.
Now, what's the study? Just watching the game?
Watching the games.
Logging it.
And the thing was, they would everybody was trying to play them in cover 3 and cover 1. and they killed them running up the seams.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dallas Clark?
Oh my God, it was a slaughter. And so I said, we can't do this. We need to go in and play cover 4. We cannot get chewed up in the seams. And Romeo Crennel, our defensive coordinator, is one of my favorite people. So when do you want to play cover 3? Never. Not against this team. Just don't do it. They will kill you. Okay,
That's kind of what teams would do to us because of Gronk and the seams.
So I go. This is maybe 2 years ago, and I'm watching a Monday night game, and I'm watching the simulcast with Eli and Peyton Manning, and somebody's playing cover 4, and Peyton Manning goes, "Yeah, cover 4. I don't really like my in-cuts and my seams against that." And I'm sitting there thinking, yes, that's why we played it. I mean, it made my day.
Ernie.
But that's
Getting off on reading
they got
scouting books.
Hey,
and
they got
30 years down the road.
Hey,
Peyton
listen,
Manning.
Eli and Peyton, they got us plenty. Okay,
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they got us plenty. So I mean, it was. I mean, those were, and people say we went to 9 Super Bowls. No, we went to 10 because that AFC Championship game against the Colts
It was always
in
a
06,
Super Bowl.
it was. Well, first place, the NFC team was going to be the Bears. We had beat the Bears in the regular season for like 40-7 or something. And there's no way that Bears team, there was no way they were going to be able to play against either the Colts or us. Everybody on that field knew this is for the championship. And they came back, and we got up ahead of them, and they came back. And
remember it transferred though. When Peyton went to Denver. Then it became Denver for us. It was us versus Peyton.
And to this day,
Cover 4.
And I was just talking to somebody earlier today.
But then you know what they got us on the cover 4? That's when they started putting that tight end outside and putting Jamie Lee out there, and then they do that double move.
Yeah. Listen, this was like that. This is a chess match, except those other chess meets, they can fight back and they run fast.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, it's constant, but everybody talks about, of course, we had in 2014 that great game against the Ravens. We had to come from behind and beat them. You hit Danny on the touchdown pass. Then the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. But the most truly amazing thing that year was, remember, in the divisional playoff game, somehow, I have no idea to this day how this happened, the Broncos lost to the Colts.
Oh, I know.
How did this is like did that just shouldn't have happened in Denver. I mean, it was like
I remember we went into that week.
We knew perfectly well. Hey, if we got the Ravens, and we're going to have to go play the Broncos the next week, and that they lost to the Colts. It happened, but it shouldn't have happened.
Any given Sunday, Ernie.
Yeah, well, that to me was a game that proved it, because Denver was so much better than, it's like we ended up beating the Colts 45-6 or something. The Colts couldn't play with us. They should not have been able to play with them. It should have been Patriots Broncos for another Brady, Manning AFC Championship game matchup. But
I know.
Yeah, but listen, we got the Colts in 03 and 04, and they came back, and the brothers they got us plenty good. So